Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Choose Your Own Path. So today we're in my kitchen because my basement's pretty noisy and all the kids are gone and the wife. Yay. Anyway, today's project is we 3D printed a Mandalorian jetpack. Now this came in many pieces. It's been airbrushed and glued together, obviously, and it's ready to be set up. Now, problem is how do you attach this to your back? I came up with maybe a solution, and I'm gonna share it with you. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, I guess not. So I ended up finding an old backpack, one that basically could fit somebody either larger, smaller, whatever. This one was my backpack, obviously. So this is the concept of having it on your back. Now you could stretch it out or whatever. What I was thinking of doing is attaching this to the back of the jetpack. The problem is you can't sew it. You can't, take rivets. You can't do anything like that. You have to glue it. All right, so what we'll be using is some contact cement to actually go on the back of the backpack or jetpack and then to the piece that we're going to be gluing it to. So that will be done outside, obviously. It does say low odor. This is LePage, whatever, contact cement. You could use it for styrofoam and all that. We'll figure that out. So what I came up with is using, this is one of those floor mats. Now it has a rough texture on it, which would be good because once you put the contact cement on it and you glue it down to the back of the jetpack, you'll have a better bond. But we still need to have this glued to the actual piece. Now, let me put this aside. What I was thinking is giving it a little bit more, say a little bit more, protection, because that is a piece of plastic. It's kind of be heavy on your back. Probably weighs over like 5 pounds. There's a lot of filament in there. So I was thinking of just adding a couple of these pieces to it. And then taking the top piece, adding that on top, folding these over, gluing them, and then gluing it to the actual jetpack. The thing is what am I going to use to glue? I'm thinking we're going to try some hot glue. So the first thing I want to do is glue these guys down. So we ended up going to Walmart. I wanted a bigger hot glue gun. This is an AirTech. It was on sale, so it's even better. And we are just going to add, once this catches up, we're going to let this heat up a bit and add our globs of glue to the styrofoam first. Yes, I did have it plugged in. There we go. Let that heat up a bit. Now, I chose not to use the dollar store glue stick that I have, just that I know we've had issues with them before. Not that it's probably a bad product, it's just I wanted to use the ones that I purchased from Walmart itself. And these will just be, like I said, tacked down just enough so that these pieces can fit. For some reason it's not glued, it's not coming out properly, but that's okay. We'll get that to work. Let's try the first piece out and see what happens. We're just adding this to the bottoms. This will just give it an extra little bit of a padding so that it just, like I said, you don't feel that all that weight to your back. Let's see what happens. Now this thing's not catching properly. I don't know why. Walmart, come on. Get with the program. Yeah, I have this in locally. There we go. Just have to grab onto it. Obviously, we want to get enough glue on it so that it stays. And this will be behind the material, so it shouldn't affect it at all. Like I said, it's just for extra padding. So we have that extra padding on there. We don't need this little chunk in the middle. It's not going to do anything, but we'll get rid of it We don't have to get rid of it because it's going to be sort of covered up anyway. I think maybe I should get rid of it just for the fun of it. I'll get rid of it now. I'll have it on for a while. I'll have a hard time taking it off. Again, this is just some sort of packing foam. It just gives a little bit of extra cushioning. It's not going to hurt it. So now we have to figure out how we're going to add this to the back. And we're going to use the same method. We're just going to glue this down. And then we're going to just turn the sides over and glue them also down so that this can stick properly to it. It's pretty much in the center. So we're just going to add a couple of tufts of glue in places just so I can get started. Just make sure we do a good round of the perimeter so it gets glued. Now it's good to have a big hot glue gun because A, you get more coming out of it, and B, you're not changing sticks every 3 seconds because those little glue guns, man, are a pain in the ass to work with, but you do what you do with what you have. Press down on that, make sure it's good. Now the tricky part is going to have all this bent over so that it stays by giving it just enough of a gap, I guess. Plus the strapping is on the side. So what I may do is end up just cutting a little slit in here. So this way I'll hot glue this little piece first. All right. And then again, we had that center piece here. We'll just sort of get rid of that. Just because we don't need it. This won't be visible because it'll be in the back of the jetpack. Hopefully we can get that lined up pretty good. I think what I'll do is I'll just cut a little. I just don't want this to be too bulky. That's the one thing, because it'll have a little bit of bulk to it. And we're just going to add it on here. Now we'll put enough hot glue that this should stay. It should properly stay on there. And hopefully it doesn't look too stupid at the end. Now again, this is just an experimental thing. It's our first one that we do. Not sure if it's going to work. We're going to hope it does. And when they say it's hot glue, it's hot. Okay, a little messy, but not the end of the world. Sheet out. I just don't want it too bulky so that it basically has an odd look in the back. So we'll just trim out whatever we don't need. And here we have the backpack that is on a foam, on a cushion. All right, so we did it indoors. It's low odor, there's no smell. I got the window open. I just want to show you, we added 2 generous coats of the contact cement on it. It says to let sit for 30 to 40 minutes, so we'll put a timer on it. And then what we'll do is when that's ready, we'll just put them on top of each other, and then we'll put something really heavy on there, let it bond, and we'll let it sit for as long as it has to, and then we'll show you what's going on. So this will be part 1 of our video of showing you what we're doing, and part 2 will be attaching it, and then hopefully, is that a word, hopefully, it works. So if it does, bonus. If it doesn't, anyway, if I can do it, you can do it. Choose your own path, guys. See you soon.